Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the last talk of this year's Vogue Festival in association with Versace. 48 hours ago, I don't think any of us could quite believe that we'd get to the point of having a last talk, and of course now it's rather a sad moment. But I'm very honoured that to close the festival, we have with us a woman who knows everything there is to know about fashion and fame. Donatella Versace and her brother Gianni were born in Calabria, but left together to pursue their careers in fashion. Over the next 2 decades, they built a fashion house that came to epitomize the times, with an emphasis on glamour, sex, showmanship, and celebrity. In 1997, Gianni was murdered, and Donatella, instead of locking herself away, as she must have been sorely tempted to do, bravely took on the role of artistic director, not only having to be leader at a time when she was deeply grieving, but also having to take control and learn a lot about the whole company. She's now creative director, and in time, Donatella has made Versace very much her own, whilst remaining completely true to her brother's vision. She's one of the most liked and admired women in the business and a fantastic supporter to young designers, an example of which is J.W. Anderson's capsule collection for her brand Versace that will be shown in New York next month. Talking to her on stage is Vogue's contributing editor and Telegraph fashion director Lisa Armstrong, unquestionably one of, and I would definitely say the best fashion journalist in this country. I'm very pleased to have had Lisa work with us on Vogue for over 20 years. And she's going to chat with Donatella and then take questions from the floor. So let's move on and get Donatella and Lisa on stage.
Wow.
Fantastic. We were going to do a little dance for you. Maybe we'll do it at the end,
Yes.
Donatella. I think
Just
we
to
should.
relax.
Okay, clicker. Clicker? Ah, that's what I wanted. Donatella, you've got one of the most iconic looks yourself in fashion, and I really wanted to know how you got to that look. I mean, how old were you when you first did this look? It's so copied now.
Let's say I had no choice.
You had no choice.
I had no choice because I was 10 and a half years old, and my brother Gianni told me.
How old was Gianni at that point?
He's 10 years older than me.
10
so I
years?
was still 21. And he just told me, you need to do highlighter in your hair. A few. So mommy, she doesn't understand.
And was mummy strict?
Very strict.
Okay. And daddy?
Daddy less strict.
Okay.
It was more a matriarchal family.
Yes.
So I did this few highlighter at the age, and my mother didn't notice. So Johnny says, let's do more. And the second time, she started to look at me like, is something wrong with you? I said, no, I'm fine. The third time will start to be really, really light.
Yes.
So
I imagine you with your hair in a bucket of bleach. Was it like that?
it was fabulous. I mean, at my age, to have my brother taking care of me, fashionable, it was amazing. Anyway, from my lighter, I went to platinum.
Practical?
Platinum.
Oh, platinum. So how old were you when you went platinum?
That I did by myself. I was like 24, 25.
It's interesting because in the beginning, Gianni sort of was very influential on you and he pushed you to be a bit naughty. But then you, I mean, it reversed, didn't it? And you were always saying to Gianni, come on, come on, come on, do this, make it shorter, make it tighter.
Yes, I was the one who was pushing Gianni. Gianni, everybody knows he was a genius. But like everybody in fashion, in every job, he needs to confront himself with somebody who can tell him the truth.
Yes.
And that's very difficult.
Did you fight? I mean, when
all
you...
the time. I mean, yes.
What, was it kind of Italian fighting, screaming, throwing?
Yeah, very Italian. People backstage would get so scared, thinking we're gonna kill each other, these two. But 2 minutes later, we're laughing. I remember one of a collection that I took all the skirts and the dress, we did rehearsal and everything, half to the atelier, and made shorter of 20 centimeters. So Gianni finds...
And he didn't know that you took them up
during the night.
To the atelier?
Yeah. But,
and Donatella,
next morning he saw the clothes. Is that been changed? Gianni, you told me to do shorter. Do you remember?
And he was okay with it. So really, you were a really bad influence on each other, and it was fantastic.
Rebel. I was a rebel. Johnny was a rebel as well, but it was...
What I don't understand is why you were a rebel, because your mum was strict, but you had a very happy childhood. What were you rebelling against?
I was never satisfied. I'm a very curious person, and what I had at the moment, what I knew at the moment, was not enough for me. I want to find out more. I want to, as more information as I could, and then re-elaborate my information and think in a fashion way. You can't do fashion if you are out of this world. In anything happen, art, music, politics, everything. So this was my curiosity and my tension. I'm a very tense person. Brought me for wanting more, doing more, what's next, push forward.
Did you ever want to be, at that age, did you want to be a designer yourself, or did you always want to work with your brother?
Listen, it was so comfortable, make him do the craziest thing and push him forward and be behind. Nobody could blame me.
So if we go back to Donatella, age 15, say, what did you look like?
So I was in the south of Italy, very south, Reggio Calabria.
And it was very conservative.
Yeah, very conservative. I was wearing like a patent leather yellow miniskirt to here, like patent leather boots yellow, a patent leather blouson black.
Where did you get these clothes?
I don't know, Gianni got it for me.
And your mum did you sneak out and
My mum had continuously fight with Gianni because he thought he was a devil.
Yeah, he was a little
bringing
devil.
her sister into a bad place. But she gave up. She gave up before I left south of Italy at 17. I went to Florence to do my university study.
And what did you do at university?
Language and literature. Was something, the work I could do finish the university was to teach. Can you imagine me teaching?
I would love you teaching. You'd be a great teacher. So, Donatella, you were reading Dante in your PVC yellow miniskirt. It's such a good picture. I love the idea of that.
But Gianni, at the same time, got his first job near to Florence as a designer. So every weekend, I was taking the train, it was 1.5 hours of train, and go to see him. And I was working with him already. I mean, nobody knew. I mean, my mother didn't know. She thought I was always in Florence. She was checking on me, coming all of a sudden to see if I was there. Thank God she didn't find out. And that's how it started with me and Gianni. And
I think what I would love to know is, what does Donatella wear in her down moments? Because the hairdresser backstage used to do your hair when you stayed in London a long time ago, and he said you would appear at 7 a.m., always really on time, with a cigarette.
Always.
Espresso in the other hand.
Don't copy me on that, guys.
in a sort of negligee. He said you always look fabulous, even at that time. So I'm thinking you're not...
Well, I had dark sunglasses too.
Dark sunglasses, but yeah, that works. But you were never really an Uggs kind of girl, am I right?
I'm this.
Even on a Sunday. Well, it is a Sunday.
Can you see me in Uggs and onesie? I mean, please.
But what would be your most...
probably fall.
What would be your most slouchiest? I mean, what would you wear to relax, to watch TV?
This.
Yay! So this is what I think is amazing about Versace, because you can go into that store and you can find the most beautiful plain little black dress, or you can find a great jacket for work, right? But how do you start designing a collection? Because is it about what Donatella Versace wants to wear?
No. I'm designing thinking of global woman in the world. powerful woman, because we are powerful, and determined woman. And I start to think of clothes like a weapon to reach your goal in life. This is how I see clothes. What you wear to make you very confident and give you strength to reach what you want.
Is that how you felt then as a kid when Gianni was dressing you in the outrageous clothes? You felt powerful.
I love it. Everybody was looking at me. I didn't understand why. Then,
while you're walking through southern Italy in lined PVC.
I was working, like walking like crazy, dressing, but I was very particular ahead of my time.
So
It's not everything was with Gianni. At 12, 11 and a half, when I was normal, I was going to disco club with him at night.
You were going to discos
behind
at
my
12?
mother's shoulder, she didn't know.
At 12 you were going to discos. You sound like a very modern kind of girl.
Yeah.
Were you, and were you sneaking out? Were you climbing down the drain pipe? How did you...
I was sneaking out. I was climbing the things. I was on the beach.
That's what I think is...
Because I was not appropriate age to do that. But I think what Gianni gave me during when I was a baby to adolescent was the idea that you have to be fearless, you have to be provocative.
Yes.
You have to dare to reach what you want.
But Donatella, I think sometimes, that you can be quite a shy person.
I am a shy person.
Yeah.
I am a shy person, but I covered this public role, which in the beginning I was a few years ago, I was very, very nervous to do a thing like this. I was sweating and trembling, like we did backstage. But then, I looked at them and I said, these are people,
Yes.
Women, girls are like me, they love fashion. So I tried I'm more comfortable now, but I went through a very difficult time, being in a public role.
Yes.
Especially because I thought I was walking in my brother's shoes. That was his place, not mine.
That was such a bad time when Gianni died. How did you get the strength to take over? Even, you've lost your brother, that's hard enough, but you're also having to take over this company. And you haven't been trained as a designer, you haven't gone to design college. It's really...
Not even genuine.
Did that help you, knowing that Gianni had been...
If I had the fortune to go to a designer college at the time, or Gianni to go would be great. My mother was a seamstress, and she had a whole atelier, and Gianni learned everything from that atelier.
Can you sew?
No.
I just had this picture of you for a moment, sitting at home like that on Sunday nights, putting buttons on. No.
I don't even like to put pins on the fittings. I asked the tailor.
Do you cook, Donatella?
No.
So you do nothing domestic? That's the other thing. I think, not only as Donatella, are you you are the businesswoman, you're the designer with the design team, but you are the embodiment of your brand. That must be an incredible pressure.
It is an incredible pressure. It is because this brand, it's so well known all over the world. Gianni made this brand amazing, and made this brand really different at the time from the other brands, because
Yes.
Gianni was the one who dared, with the thing in your face, was fearless. Some people were not liking him. People were liking him. It was like take it or leave it.
Yeah.
It was nothing in the middle, and I love that about him.
How did you both react to the criticism? Because it was always very love-hate with Versace, wasn't
Yeah.
it? People adored it, or people didn't get it.
We both think we don't really care, but we do.
Well, that's very honest.
No, the criticism depends, who writes, whatever, make me think about. Because it's a hand. If you think you are fantastic, you can do everything, that's the end, of your creativity. Just go home and watch TV.
Yeah.
So please, whoever listens to me, don't criticize too much. But just the right
But
amount.
also, Donatella, now, of course, with the web, with the internet, everyone is a critic. You know, everybody can put their opinion in. Do you read the...
Sometimes I Google myself, you know, people when don't show their face, they can say whatever they want. You know, they can offend people. They can, but this is part of the contemporary world. I don't mind. What I love about internet is that fashion became global, the images goes around in a second.
Yes.
And I think internet is the new house of fashion.
Yes. Just looking at this picture here.
Oh.
Yeah, we've jumped to that. I mean, the thing about Versace, apart from the clothes, was all those really, truly amazing, iconic ads. I mean, you were the first people really to start working with the supermodels and also to do them as group shots.
This was a picture of Richard Hammond.
We've got Nadia, we've got
Everybody's
Christy,
there.
we've got Claudia.
Stephanie Seymour is there?
Stephanie Seymour's on the end. I think that's Cindy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, just incredible.
It's incredible to think at that time, you know, the group of girls, they were already famous. But I think what we did with Gianni became celebrities.
But why, Donatella, did you and Gianni use those girls? Because it was so expensive. I mean, you were paying them probably more than they get paid today. Why did you want to do that?
Because, you know, the girls were such personalities. We were not posing. We were doing more than that.
Donatella was saying earlier she was on all those shoots. They didn't have stylists in those days. It was Donatella.
That's my stylist. No, it was there. The figure of a stylist was there. And when with this big photographer like Helmut Newton and Richard Avedon, and you know, stylist was something we didn't. You know, we were so perfectionist. To take the picture, it took a whole day.
It took a whole day for one picture.
The perfection on details was something that makes this picture different.
I mean, they are worthy of being in the National Portrait Gallery, I think. How long would the models have to stand like that?
Oh, that was a torture, like 25 minutes.
In
Not
one
moving,
pose?
In one pose, we couldn't move because Richard Avedon needs to try a different kind of fence for the hair to fly.
And he would come and change one finger.
Yeah, I remember the finger position was so important for him. So you had to touch, not touch, be like this, and the gear of the finger almost paralyzed. But at the end, this was what everybody in fashion was talking about.
So you telling me in that picture, which is one of my all-time favorites, with all the men's bums in your faces, that he was worrying about the fingers?
Yeah. Believe it or not, he didn't worry one moment about the naked men, which I think will look absolutely normal.
Yeah, very normal to sit on a naked man.
Because much more powerful than them.
Exactly. Well, this is the
You
thing.
know, how many times a girl can put his heel on a man's
Donatella, I want to
body?
ask you, did you sneak onto that set and sit on one of those men's bums?
Oh, I didn't worry about that. You know, that picture, I mean, all these models. First was a competition between models that today is not like that. We would die to get the best pose, the best, you know, to be the best in the group. It was a very constructive competition.
But what?
A very constructive
But what
fight.
about the egos? I mean,
immense. Immense, but I love it. I almost miss the kind of...
So, you and Gianni might burst into a screaming fight at any point, and the girls might join in? Was it very...
Sorry?
Were you and Gianni might fight? Did the girls ever fight with one another? Would they...
Always. I mean, the biggest girl, like Linda, Naomi, and Cindy, and we would line up for the makeup because François Nars would do the makeup as a magician. But you would do 5 girls, and the rest of the team would do the rest. So they're there like 8 hours before the show, line up.
That was the only time they were ever on time or early?
Ever. Only we do the makeup. And then, you know, we used to do rehearsal the night before, with full dressed. And when Gianni was leaving, I was staying there, and the girls were fighting because when they exchanged dresses, they were coming to me and trying to make peace.
So you had to be stylist, shrink,
Yeah, shrink and bless. I mean,
everything.
well, you know what? The good thing was people care. The girls cared to look fantastic.
Yes.
Was tension, was provocation, and we were totally fearless, all of us.
You were also, apart from with the supermodels, you and Gianni were really the first to do this sort of rock and roll, fashion, frock and roll and royalty. You know, Princess Diana famously wore the clothes. Madonna. What did the music? Who was the first musician you worked with?
Prince.
And how? What? Because Prince has this reputation for being completely weird.
You think I don't like that?
Yeah, that's true. So what?
It's very difficult, but he's such a genius. And we did a shoot with Mr. Avedon, and
Where was it?
where? New York.
Yeah.
But like I said, it was like we were in the dressing room talking about totally different things, and Avedon waiting on the set for Prince. And we were talking about music, about things that was we were very talkative with each other. But he was living in a different world about fashion. I think he's a legend. He gave a great contribution.
He made you a song
to
just
fashion.
for you, didn't he?
He did a soundtrack completely for my show, from Atelier show in Paris.
With very rude lyrics.
Fantastic. Prince lyrics.
But you were the one who made the phone call to Prince, weren't you, to get him to come?
And he stayed silent for like 10 minutes. So I knew.
What, when you called?
Yeah, I was waiting, and then he said, yes.
He just said yes like that?
It took his time to think. But the most funny thing is when he did the soundtrack, he was doing this, there was no internet yet. We were doing this phone call. It was make me listen to the music by phone with this, I couldn't understand very well the words. So.
Maybe just as well that you didn't understand the lyrics.
That was fantastic. It was a big success. It was really amazing.
I always love it at the fashion shows. Sometimes the lyrics are so rude, and there's some women sitting in the front row, some editors.
Understand.
Well, no, they do understand,
think?
but they're quite.
I don't think they understood
They're
that
quite
sometimes.
elderly, and sometimes they look a bit shocked.
I don't think I understood that soundtrack.
Maybe not. Maybe that's
Some of the words.
When did you get involved with Madonna?
Well, a long time ago. She had a house in Miami when I had a house in Miami.
Yes.
We were seeing each other, around before, but then we became really good friends. We were both in Miami, going out together. She came to my house, I went to her house. She didn't have any children yet. She was, and then I asked, "What did you campaign for me?" And she right away said, "Yes, I hope you asked me." And that was very first. At campaign Madonna did.
It must be very different now with celebrities. You have to go through all the agents and the managers, maybe not you, but in general, you and Gianni really blazed a trail.
Well, now people like Madonna and Prince, we don't go through management publicists because, we are who we are, we decide we're on end. So.
What I think also is very interesting is that although you've always...
Here he is, Prince, look.
He looks cute.
He does. It looks weird, but fabulous.
Weirdly cute. Weirdly
but
cute,
fabulous.
I think. Which, when you... nowadays, designers, all the brands use celebrities because they know it's a quick way to get attention and to get famous, but that's not why you were doing it, really, is it?
I was doing because at that time I had a relationship as friend with these people. And I wouldn't do anybody just because it's a celebrity. I'd do somebody controversial. So that's Madonna and Prince.
Yes.
And then later on, when the red carpet thing starts for everybody else, I worked with Angelina Jolie and Holly Berry, but the campaign with Holly Berry and a few other actresses.
What I love about those Versace ads is that the men are objectified and the women are very powerful in the ads. And I think it's very different now. You look around and the women seem to be more objectified than ever. A lot of women feel that they have to be very sexualized. And I wonder if you think women have made progress or not.
I think women have made huge progress. I understand what you say completely, but the looking like objects and making this thing very important is not very TV culture, which is not today. Today is the internet community.
Yes.
And internet community were not like that.
Do you tweet?
Not myself, the tweet. I love the digital world. I'm obsessed.
When you
You know, the thing that I find strange is for me, I've been discovering everything of digital and the web, and I find it fantastic. But for the kids, for you kids, it's like normal, you know.
Yeah, it's completely
It's
natural.
just starting for you, you know. It's gonna get bigger and bigger.
This is a really interesting picture because it's kind of punky, and this is from 20 years ago, I think. Yeah. And then you're...
It was 1993,
I think, yeah.
1987.
So, 20, yeah. So, and the next winter's collection is punk as well. How do you keep the balance between those amazing Versace archives, but also keeping it modern all the time?
Well, if I present the archives as they are, will be out of this world. Are amazing, but the cut is different. You know, the proportions are different. The shoulders are big, they're not tight enough. It was another proportion of the body at those times. So you
was
already
it? The bodies were different?
The proportion of the clothes, I mean.
Yeah.
So you have to go, you take it and you go through like a restoration of the proportion of today.
And how big is your design team that you work with?
My design team is not that big. For the first run, I have 4 or 5 people, and for Versus, which is my baby, because Gianni was the first collection Gianni gave to me to do by myself.
When was that? Which year?
I don't remember.
Okay, 2 years ago.
2 years ago. No, it was around in the 90s.
Why did you bring Versus back? It's very interesting. Was it the success? It was.
Well, I brought Versus back. And
Versus.
And I did, and I didn't myself, because I love young talent, young designer. I think they're fearless today. If the only people still provocative, still like they're there. So I had this, in the beginning, this meeting with Christopher Kane, which I hope is here. Ciao, Christopher. And he opened all another world to me. It began like when he did the exam with Martin. He asked me for some metal mesh, a little bit. So I sent tons of metal mesh. But he did for his exam. And since then, I think we never be apart.
I want to know whether you and Christopher ever had screaming rows like you and Gianni.
Never.
Never?
Well, fun. You know why? Because I asked to Christopher, not do it your way. You know, if you work with a super talent like Christopher and tell him what to do, I mean, it's not possible.
But you see,
you need to be generous in fashion.
Yeah, and you're very generous. Did I won't name names, but Christopher or JW, well, you haven't started with him yet, but
Did you hear, JW? Ciao.
If Christopher...
Is the launch again of Versus.
I know, it's
Start with Jonathan Anderson.
It's so exciting, yeah.
And I think it's a little bit of pressure on him right now.
Just a little bit. But would Christopher ever come to you with things that maybe you didn't like, or anybody in your team you didn't like, but you think, I'm going to go with it because I trust them?
Well, the Jonathan most, but not for what he did for Versus. It's amazing. You know, I cannot say you're going to do, but when I chose him, I was looking at his clothes, and then
they're so different from your style.
Yes, and when I go back and look again, I said, and I went back. And then, God damn, I'm very talented here. I need to be open, more open.
Yeah.
I mean, who better than Jonathan with his taste can do Versus through different eyes?
I think it's so exciting because you are like polar opposites, really.
And, you know, I met him. I fell in love with him because he's so beautiful, too.
Very handsome.
So good looking.
So is Christopher. Let's not.
So it's Christopher, I like beauty around here. And it's very intellectual in a way. He talks to you, he talks, you know. And okay, I repeat again, what he did, what he does for his own line, I think is fantastic. I think it's new. It's the newest thing on the market right now. But it has nothing to do with me. That's why I chose him.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
I told him, Jonathan, give him the Versace versus attitude through your eyes. And you're going to be so surprised what you're going to see.
Can't wait. At what stage, Donatella, do you get...
Can I say something?
You can say something.
Christopher did too, for twice. I never forgive you for that. But he made me do flat shoes.
He made you do flat shoes.
I mean,
Donatella,
only flat shoes.
okay,
With Christopher, that kind of, conversation, let's put flats here, but then heels there. And this is no compromise. But we look fantastic.
Okay, very important headline question. When was the last time you wore flat shoes?
Never. I mean,
But you do gym, you do running, you do it.
yeah, there.
Then, but do they have? They're quite thick trainers, right?
No, we're no more trainers, but thank God, I'm fortunate enough to have a gym in my house, so nobody sees me.
What? I'm sorry, I have to ask you because you have got this incredible body. What time in the morning do you get up to exercise? Like 4 a.m.
Well, no.
5.
I mean, I need to be at the office at exactly at 9, so I can take my time. I don't do every day. I do like 3/4 times a week.
Running, gym.
Running, mostly running.
And when you're running, you don't run with a cigarette, do you?
Do I have to answer this? I stopped working with a trainer for this reason.
What, because he wouldn't let you smoke? That's so mean.
I have a beautiful Versace ashtray in my gym. Looks so good.
Yeah. I would, so you start work at 9, and I know you work very hard, but at what point do you get involved in the collection? Do you sweep down a week before it's due and say, I ate it all? Or you're involved from the start?
I'm involved from the start, from the beginning. And if I trust you, which usually I do, we have like style meetings for the next collection, which is like one
but
every day.
How would that start? How would it start? Would you maybe say, I feel it's time to do punk again? Or
I thought, the last revolution in a movement as music, as a way to think, the way to do was punk. And Gianni did punk, we did punk with Gianni, it was punk. So I think we were in a moment of transition, something very different is going to come next. So I revisited the punk collection. I call it Vunk because it's Versace.
Vunk, yeah.
But I tried to put in a different time, today time. So at that time, you never see vinyl pants with sandals mink under. So I did a contamination.
It always has to be very luxurious.
Very
as
luxurious,
well. And I think you've got the punk spirit inside you, even,
I wish when I stopped in punk spirit.
No, you must. Donatella, is there anything that you wouldn't wear now at your age, our age?
Miniskirt.
Really?
I love miniskirt, but I wouldn't wear.
But you're going to keep it tight to the end, I'm hoping. Tight, black.
You crazy? When I'll be dead with hair and makeup.
I hope that's a long way off. But yeah, definitely hair and makeup is very important at these moments.
And heels too, you have to look glamorous. Even then.
What's your beauty tip?
Well, our life, I say, oh no, I'm like this genetic. No, I'm not like this genetic. I use tons of cream, experiment everything, my skin, and take good care of my body and my skin and my hair.
Yeah.
And so.
And makeup at all moments.
Always, at least mascara.
Yes.
And black pencil inside.
So when you did the H&M collaboration, I was very struck because you were so modest at the time. It was last year. You were very modest because you said you were so surprised to see the queues and queues of young people.
I mean, that was the moment I really became a little more sure of myself and my history, and the brand history. When I saw the reaction young kids had on H&M, because H&M was a revised of the archive of Versace through, you know, in a more modern way, modern fabrics, you know, in an easier fit and everything. And kids were like crazy.
I know, they were just...
And that's made me much more secure of my history, because I'm very insecure. I could be very, very,
very
insecure.
Do you, why? Well, you had this brother who adored you, you had...
Yeah, but I'm not my brother.
No, so that's...
And I'm a woman, and I don't know, you know, the beginning after, when the tragedy happened, I was mourning my brother in public, which was the hardest thing I did in my life. At the same time, I had no choice. I had to survive for the company.
Yeah.
So it was a very, very hard moment.
And you had to become a businesswoman as well, which you hadn't really before, had you?
Well, I had to, you know, I had to, because team managers are very, you can trust everybody, you know. But now I'm very happy. It's like 5 years, I have a good manager team who loves fashion. You know, a CEO who loves fashion, you know, fashion forward is not easy to find. And of course, I get stuck in this meeting with them. But
do you like the business side now?
Well, I like somebody doing well for me.
Should we go to the... Is it time to take questions from the floor? I think it is, isn't it?
Qua?
We have...
Please in Italian, eh? Okay. I want to say hello to Angela's. Ciao. I see you there.
Okay, who's got the first question?
Great.
Yeah.
Singer.
Hi, I'm a third-year student at London College of Fashion, and I was wondering... I'm here. I was wondering, what advice could you give me for after graduation, and do you have a training program for young designers that are just graduating?
Do you have a training program for graduate? What advice would you give to a young designer just leaving college?
Well, to be totally free what you do, to have passion and to fight for, because it's not always, you know, not always people are going to understand in the beginning what you're doing. But if you really truly believe, don't compromise. Just fight for.
Yep.
Hi, I have a question about how would you identify the Italian woman of today?
Italian?
How would you define the Italian woman?
I think a woman, international woman, I don't think an Italian woman. You know, the world is globalization. Internet is a community, goes all over the world, so I don't think of Italian woman. I think of woman. A woman is a woman wherever she is. From whatever she is.
Lady in the orange.
Hello. You're obviously very...
Where I'm looking.
They're over at the end on a table.
Oh, okay.
Hi. You're obviously very close to your brother. Do you feel him when you work now? And if he could say something to you now, what do you think it would be?
I hope he'll say he's very happy, but you know, I have nightmare more than thinking. I dream about him. Like, all of a sudden arriving to a show just before the show and say, I hate everything, by the way. I wake up sweating. But I think now, in this moment, you'll be proud. Because Gianni was about changing and innovating. And this will...
Donatella, who do you have your creative fights with now?
Everybody. I mean, you know, I asked... I'm a little bit of a bitch. I asked question to my team and said, do you think this? And I know for sure I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
And when we say yes, says, you know, you're a thief. You're lying to me. Don't rethink.
But that's what's difficult when you're a boss and you're powerful. It's difficult for people to tell you the truth.
I don't like to feel like a boss.
Yeah.
I always ask them, please tell me what you think. I like it, I don't like it, but I need to confront myself with different tastes, with different ideas. And these kids were different. I mean, it's also, again, I saw you. Talking about the digital world, these kids live in the digital world. And, you know,
yes.
Some history of fashion, we don't know, because everything started after 2000. And,
yeah, that's right. They don't have
so it's a different language.
Yes.
So for me, it's very, very important.
And in a way, that's great, because that means that everything that happened before 2000 is important, but in some ways, it's not. It's just about what you're doing now, isn't it? Well, I think we should go somewhere near the back, because...
Lay.
But she holds we will, but we need a mic to you. But is there someone at... Yes, there. Okay, quite far back.
Hi, Donatella. Ciao.
Ciao.
Over here.
Can you see Donatella over there?
Hi. Ciao. My name is Pamela. I'm
Ciao,
a big
Pamela.
fan.
Thank you.
You said earlier that you used to not work with stylists.
Yeah.
But I got to see your documentary, and now everyone works with stylists.
Yeah.
And you work closely with Branna Wolf.
Well, of course, what I say is, at those times, Richard Avedon campaign.
Yeah, in those days.
And there was not the figure of stylist, you know, it didn't exist. It was hair, makeup, and the clients, and the photographer.
Donatella?
But yes, I work with stylists. I think it's very important to have somebody who gives you an opinion from outside. Because I see my clothes every day, and I can fall in love easily. And maybe somebody who comes once in a while can tell you, can put you in a different, way of thinking.
Donatella, just looking at the pictures there of the red carpet.
Oh.
Do you work with stylists for that, or do you work directly with the stylist? Because you have relationships with so many.
I do. I think I'm so proud that that's Jane Fonda. She's so iconic.
She's amazing, and she looks incredible in that dress.
And she chose a dress which is, with metal here. It's like it's not embroidery.
It was quite rock and roll.
It's quite rock and roll for her. She's amazing. She's amazing for all her life, what she did in her life. She took position very, very difficult for the time when she was young.
Yes.
And
but how does it work now? I mean, do you design one dress for them, or do you have to design 5 dresses, or?
No. Angelina Jolie, that you see there, I love her because she has her own style, and she chose the clothes of my collection. I never get what she's going to choose. She's really different.
Oh, what? You can't ever predict what she's going to choose?
No, she asked me to. I do some different alteration of the dress, but that's what she's very simple, she's very regal, and she's very mysterious. And I like that. I
think for you, the red carpet really worked. The dresses look great, you have a good relationship, because some designers get very burned by doing the red carpet.
I couldn't dress somebody I don't like, I don't know.
No, we won't ask for that later, maybe. Okay, there. And then we do need a mic over here.
She was the first one.
I know, come on. Okay, but in the meantime, there was somebody, with,
Hi.
Yes, stripy coat. Can you see zebra coat?
Yes.
Oh. Hi, my name is Sarah, and I'm actually very interested in what or who inspires people. What does exactly inspire you? Who inspires you when you are getting dressed? Because you have such a specific, unique style.
Well, I don't even think what I'm wearing when I'm getting dressed, because my style is it's not that big. I mean, I wear heels, I wear tight pants, I wear jacket, black dresses, a lot of, stretch fabric, fur, diamonds,
Donatella, show them your diamonds. Just show them those diamonds.
This is really punk.
How many pairs of tight black trousers do you have?
Oh my God, I mean, I put in sections in my wardrobe.
What?
Yeah,
Black,
for
black.
fabric, you know, shape, fabric, and everything.
So it's like 150 shades of black.
Probably, yeah.
Okay, now
Don't
we
talk about shoes. I mean, I have.
Shoes? How many?
Hi, my name's Maureen. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Maureen.
So you've been through a lot in your life, and I'm really interested. What was your proudest moment with everything you've done, you know, with Versace and with everything, like, in your life, what was the proudest moment you've ever had?
I have a lot of proud moments, but my proud moment is right now, having you kids in front of me, being interesting in me, asking me questions. That's what makes my energy fine. And I really mean it, guys.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you so much for being here today. It's been a real honor to listen
Thank
to you
you.
and reflect on your career. I'm quite curious, when you're approaching a new collection, how do you go about it? Do you take into consideration fashion forecasting, or do you just go off on your own route? How do you build a new concept?
I build any new concept starting from the DNA of my brand and try to translate that into today's time. And, you know, I'm very fortunate to have a history in my brand, you know, Gianni, so many years. So it's always been loyal to your brand and also be believable of today's times. So you have to change shape, change fabric, maybe less decoration or something sometimes. And, but just be loyal to my brand is the most important thing. Brand recognition is really, really important. But for brand recognition, you have to change all the time. Because if you do the same thing over and over, it's a brand recognition like sterile.
It's really hard, though, to get that balance, isn't it?
But I'm very fortunate because, you know, I work with these fantastic young talents like Christopher, Jonathan, who give me passion, energy, and dynamism to enjoy. No more with Christopher, he left me.
Yes, you, lady in the green
But
trousers.
it was amazing. I think working with young talent, young designer, and listening to them gave me so much energy and passion. I couldn't do without.
Okay.
Hi Donatella,
Hi.
piacere.
Piacere?
My name is Giuliana.
Ciao.
And, ciao. And obviously we all struggle with difficulties, right?
Yes.
But I just want to know, firstly, like, I have a brother that I love so much. He's 15. I have his name tattooed on my wrist, and he has my name tattooed on his ankle. He's my life, honestly. If a scratch happened to him, it happens to me as well. So I wanted to know, where did you find the strength to stand up? Where?
I don't know. I have no choice, but I found the strength for him, for Gianni. Because I was thinking his last word he told me, because we spoke on the phone exactly 4 minutes before he was shot. And what he was telling me was about, you know, and, you know, I felt obligated, you know, to do it for him. And to don't disappoint him in a way, to bring this legacy on. I can't say it was easy. And, you know, I'm not just to my worst enemy to go through what I went, because you had to grieve your brother I love so much. And for the rest of the world, he was an icon. For me, it was my brother. And at the same time, try to don't disappoint him, and knowing all the eyes of the world on me, saying I was doing the wrong thing. I was not my brother. I knew I was not my brother. You know, this I knew very well. But it taught me a lot. I took my time. I was crying in private, but in public, I was putting this like a facade on me. Because the minute I show my vulnerability in my company, on the outside world, everything was going to crash. Because the company was looking at me like, are you going to make it? What's going to happen to us now? So I felt obligated to do it. I know what you say, it's really true.
over there. Right, the guy with the hand. You.
Am I talking too fast?
No, don't worry. But you can't even see me now, Donatella, as I can't give you your... Yes.
Hi, my name's Neymar, and I was wondering...
Where are you? Okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering, aside from yourself...
No idea. Where are you? I don't see you.
Yeah, over there.
Okay.
Who's your favourite designer, aside from yourself?
Christopher Kane and Jonathan W. Anderson.
I think one of the things that surprises people about Donatella is that she's very good friends with Miuccia Prada, and you can't imagine two more different aesthetics. But I think it's just testament to you both that you really appreciate each other.
We're very good friends, and we'd laugh sometimes. One time she came to my show, she said, "Oh my God, these are sexy. I'm going to do sexy." No, don't. Don't. But if you start to do sexy, I'm dead.
You know what? Next time, Donatella, you should do ankle socks and the whole Prada look.
Jonathan. I already did flat shoes with this one.
I know, but it was a shock to the system.
I know more than that.
Hey, Donatella.
Oh, three of you. We get three.
Hey. We're a band. We're called Plastic.
I love the color for your hair.
Thank you. We're
so
huge
inspiring.
fans. We're huge fans of Versace. Absolutely.
Thank you.
We're called Plastic. We're a new boy band from London, and we just wanted to know if you still had an involvement with upcoming music artists these days.
Because they're available.
We're available. That's why we're here. Wink, wink.
Of course. Angela, she's not exactly now because she's well known, but I work with her. There is another group I like, Dead Sarah, it's called. You know them? Dead Sarah. And send me something.
We actually wrote a song called Versace, ironically. You can have a little bit of that if you want to.
They wrote a song called Versace. Maybe at the end you could play us out.
Yeah, we'll play you out. We'll play you out, guys.
Come on, some music.
Okay, we'll come back to you. We've just got to get a few more questions in. You.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Melissa from Holland. I'm also a student from Amsterdam Fashion Institute, and my portfolio for Amsterdam Fashion Institute was about eco-fashion. And my question for you is, what do you think about it, or is Versace House also already working on that?
Yes, with some materials we work, not with everything. I would lie to you to say with everything, but we need to keep the environment for the future, and with for some things we work. Some objects like bags, because all the eco fabrics you cannot bleach, you cannot put colors, you have to use almost raw as they are. So yes, we start.
Donatella.
And I hope to put this forward, but I don't think you can do a whole thing in a brand with eco material, even if I love to. Che vuoi?
Clothes, like reusing stuff, like if you didn't sell something, like reuse it to make new collection.
Okay, I understand the question.
New production. Sorry, sorry. Bad. Was looking at the questioners. Can you just repeat the question?
I said like reusing stuff, like
reusing, recycling.
Yeah. Well, it's not plastic, the clothes, but yes, I could recycle something.
Okay, can we just want to take...
I wish I could,
Donatella, let's just take a couple of quick questions because we're running out of time.
Angela, hey, darling.
In regards to your legacy, you, independent of Versace, what do you want to leave behind?
What do I leave behind? Oh no, I like people to remember me. I don't like people to remember me to begin with, because I want to leave. But my legacy is that to be fearless, to be provocative, to fight for your ideas. That's the most important thing I want to leave behind as a legacy. Fight for your ideas, any ideas, fashion, music, any ideas, go for, like you're doing.
We're going to take one last question from back there because we promised.
Hi, my name's Helen Parker-Jane for Venus Bushfires. Hi. I was just wondering, I'm from Nigeria and it's a very fashionable, conspicuous country, and I was wondering, what are your plans for Versace in the emerging markets, especially Africa?
We have a plan, especially for Nigeria, and you know, it's very difficult to organize something right away, but we are thinking to do it the best way we can.
Can we squeeze one last?
I think Nigerian people are one of the most fashionable people right now. I mean, if you see the store, and who's that? Oh, me.
Ah, Lady Gaga.
Oh, no, it's not me.
It's you and Lady Gaga. She stole your style.
No. She stole my hair extension.
Yes, she really did.
I think Lady Gaga, she's a true revolutionary today. And she's a great artist. She's really a musician, and she has a fantastic voice.
She really does.
But
yes.
she's fearless. And she understood that today's world is not based on perfect beauty. It's based on being interesting and intriguing. And this is what she is. And she's a very good friend of mine, and I'm proud to be a friend of her.
Just this picture here, it's you, right?
Oh my God.
It's you?
It's a long
Was that
time
a campaign?
ago.
Was that a campaign?
That's Bruce Weber picture. It was for the underwear ad. And at one point I was there, I don't know how, I opened my eyes, I was surrounded with his voice.
How did that happen?
Oh, I didn't even realize I'm lying. It was, you know, I was sitting there and Bruce said, stay, put the long boots. You see the boots are from men boots. I was taking sun, we were in Capri. And I didn't really realize how many of them were behind me. When I saw the picture, I said, oh my God.
You serious? You didn't put all those men there yourself?
No, it was Bruce. But you know, I didn't mind at all.
Can we take... Okay, one... yes.
Buonasera, Donatella.
Ciao.
My name is Daniel, and you are a true inspiration and icon to me. And I'm very proud to be here tonight, representing Versace London. We're all here somewhere, wherever we are.
Hi guys.
I apologize. I was 10 minutes late for you because I was at Versace, so I do apologize.
That's good.
But you...
No, I understand.
You were selling lots.
You're forgiven.
Well, but you're a true inspiration to me, and I would just like to... Well, I'm also a student at Central St. Martin's, and so I'm a bit nervous because you are my... I can't believe I'm doing this right now, but you're the reason I'm here. And I would just like to ask, what are your plans? How do you see us pushing the brand forward into the future? And do you have a personal favorite collection which stands out to you?
Well, my
The Vogue collection, of course.
Now you made me nervous. Wait.
Mi dispiace, Donatella.
My favorite collection is the next one. Because what I did is like, you know, I don't even look back. What else you ask me?
How are you going to push the brand forward? But you keep pushing it forward.
I push the brand forward, be surrounded by kids like you. Yeah. That's the only way, you know? Energy, passion, daring, and new language, new idea. If it wasn't for this, fashion would be dead. And I think it's my fashion. So that's what inspires me, you guys.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.